This is probably your typical winter day in Greensboro. Sun shining, a little warm, but so pleasant to be outside. Perfect for ice skating, right? Well, perfect for so many holiday things to do in Greensboro. This is your Greensboro gift guide. Things to buy, things to do, fun, free things all around Greensboro to do over the holidays. Well, one thing you might want to check out is, of course, Winterfest, the ice skating rink in LaValor Park, downtown Greensboro. Chuck Birch is the producer of the rink. This is so much fun. We love having it in LaValor Park, the second year in a row. What are you looking forward to?
We're looking forward to seeing people come down, spend time with their families, and just have a good time.
And what's the deal? Kids, adults, prices, all of that.
Okay. Skating is for all ages. We see kids as young as 3 years old try it out. And like I said, for any age to come out and skate. Pricing $10 for ages 13 and up. And we've got price breaks as you get younger down to $5. We've also got ice sliding. And that also is for kids and adults of all ages.
Okay, and that includes stick skates, right?
That does include skates, yes.
Okay, what about for those of us, we'll say for the little ones who have a little trouble standing up? I notice there's a little help out there for them.
Yeah, we've got these skate trainers. It's little pusher things that the kids can push around, and it helps keep them on their feet, and it gives mom and dad a break from having to carry them. Okay. So it's good for mom and dad too.
So I know you are ice skater year-round because you're over at the Ice House for the better part of the year. When you see people out on this rink, it's probably a little different. They're outside. What's it like to see new people coming to the sport, trying it out as recreation?
It's really exciting to see new people trying it out. It's really exciting to see people skating outdoors. It's something that 10 years ago you might not have thought you'd see in Greensboro. This is our 8th year being here now. And it's just exciting to see new people come and try it.
And why do you think this works in Greensboro, particularly downtown Greensboro?
I think it works because people are always looking for something to do with their families. They're always looking for something to do with their friends. They're looking for entertainment, just things they can get out and go do outside.
And I know you're open all through the holidays, so give us the times and dates.
So we're open through the 28th of January. Over the holidays, we'll be open from 11 in the morning until 10 at night when the kids are out of school. So any day Guilford County is out of school, it's an 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Day, in addition to our regular hours. Of course, you can get the full schedule at PiedmontWinterfest.com.
Awesome. Thanks so much. It is so much fun. And let me tell you, if you're a little nervous about getting on the ice, it's a fabulous spectator sport. Watching is free. Get something to eat or drink, come up to the rink and just watch people fly by or, in some cases, slide on their bottoms right by. You might want to start your shopping in Greensboro's Cultural Arts Center at The Shop at Green Hill. It's a great place to find something for everyone on your list, and you might just pick up something for yourself too. Elizabeth Harry is the shop manager and registrar at Green Hill. Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you for coming.
Tell us about the shop and really the mission behind it.
Absolutely. So the Green Hill's mission is to serve the artist community of North Carolina, and the shop, as a part of Green Hill, strives to put North Carolina art into the hands of other North Carolinians or people visiting. So it's meant to be a place for people to come and realize that they can purchase original works of art no matter what your budget is.
And it's not just things that hang on the wall or sit on a shelf to look at. These are things that you can use and in some cases play with.
Absolutely, yes. We carry a mix of both fine and functional artwork. So you'll find anything from ceramic, glass works, 2D watercolors and paintings and drawings, the whole deal.
And some of the artists who are featured here?
Some of my favorites are some Greensboro natives, Keith Buckner and Mona Wu. Those are both kind of more traditional 2D artists, but we also have some really wonderful functional artists like Hayden Wilson, who's a glassblower based out of Asheville. Additionally, we have the work of Mary Beth Boone, who is a letterpress artist and a book binder, who also lives here in Greensboro. We've got some really beautiful turned wood bowls by Melissa Engler and Graham Priddle, who are a working artist team.
What do you like most about working here?
The thing that I like most about working here is having the opportunity to take a deep dive into the arts of North Carolina. The more you look into it, the more you find. I'm surprised every single day by just the breadth of really great art in our state.
Great, thank you so much. And of course, you can visit the shop. It's right inside the doors at Green Hill, right at the Davie Street entrance of the Greensboro Cultural Arts Center. You probably know these guys by their voices, maybe not as much for their faces, but that actually could be changing thanks to a new brew that you might have in your refrigerator right now. Cristo, Chris Kelly, two guys named Cristo on Rock 92.
That's right.
And for 18 years almost, you've been doing this together.
We have, Rosemary. It's hard to believe it'll be 18 years in January of 2018. And I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think we thought this might last a year and a half.
Yeah.
If we were lucky.
Yeah, 18 months instead of 18 years. Well, when we first went on, everybody hated it. Everybody. They told us you won't last, and they said we're going to fire you. And I don't know, something happened.
Yeah, what happened though?
I don't know what happened.
Something clicked. The day the boss said, I may fire you, we said, let's start doing a different type of show.
We changed a few things, and it's been good. It's been really good, yeah.
And grown outside of Greensboro now, too.
Yeah. We've been fortunate enough that there are people listening to our program now in like the Outer Banks, and in parts of Tennessee, parts of Texas, parts of...
Well, getting ready to go on in Savannah, Georgia. We're in New Bern. It's quite a few now, 7 or 8. So we're really excited about that, and things are going really well for us. Thank you.
Okay, so a working relationship is like a good marriage. What makes it work? What keeps it going for the two of you?
Well, we utterly ignore one another, except for the 4 hours we're here together.
We never speak at all. We got, they used to say about baseball teams, 25 players, 25 cabs. That's how it goes. We're gone, never even see them after this show. That's right.
When we're not working, we're as far apart mentally, literally, as we can be.
So I so don't believe that, especially because you now have your own beer.
Can you believe this?
Rock 92 Brew. How did this happen? Why did this happen?
Well, a lot of, we've looked around and we saw there should be a product that we put our name on, and we do a craft beer festival every year. Been doing it for more than 10 years now, and that's been so successful that we thought, could we do our own beer? And so we got with the folks from Gibbs 100 Brewing, and they brewed it for us. We had a little taste test in here one day, and I drink a lot of Mick Ultra, so
I've heard that about you.
Exactly, a craft beer.
But everybody sort of liked this flavor, and they brewed it for us, and people have really liked it. So that's how it all came about. Now it's in stores all over the Triad.
It took a while to find a brewer that would work with us. It's not easy to make a beer like that. And our friends at Gibbs, as Chris Kelly said, were terrific. They tinkered with the formula. They put our faces on the can.
That was the big mistake. That was the drawback. Sales were going great, then they put our faces on the can. But it has everybody who tastes it. We've had taste tests and samplings, and everybody said, "Oh, I really like that." It's good. It's got a great hoppy flavor. I guess it's got a good flavor to it to me. So everybody seems to really enjoy it.
And you are a connoisseur.
I am.
We know.
I am. Even I like it.
Exactly. Now, if you look at the can, you can see it kind of has the Gibbs style. All their cans sort of look the same way. But you can find it at Harris Teeter's. You can find it at Total Wine in Greensboro. And it's actually growing outside the Triad, too. So that's all thanks to our friends at Gibbs.
That's true.
Well, and that's a really neat relationship, too, because not only are they also, Greensboro company, Greensboro business, but they're right across the street from you, basically.
Yeah. They closed the street when we did the beer release party. It's literally just down the street from where we're standing. They had a beautiful fall day. They closed the street. They had food trucks, live music, and our beer was on tap and just flowing.
It was cool. Maybe that's why they work. Was we bothered them enough that they finally said, okay, fine, we'll brew the beer, and they did, and it's been great.
So what's next? You're growing. The show is growing. You're brewing now. So what is next on the list? Bobbleheads?
Television? I don't know. I don't know whether it would be something to go along with the beer, maybe chips or something. Who knows?
Several people asked me, because I drink more wine than beer, several people said, when are you going to have your own line of wines? Like, well, that's a little more expensive to produce. You know what they say about if you want to make a small fortune in wine? Start with a large fortune.
Right.
So
That's right. But I don't know. We're hoping the beer. I have heard people say that if this one goes well, maybe in a year we'll do a new beer,
A different type
of
formula.
beer. Yes, and something else.
Something lighter, perhaps. for
Something
you.
lighter?
Something from my palate.
Who knows? Who knows?
Hey, always so fun to catch up with you. So thank you so much. Hey, and if you want to find out all the places that you can buy the Rock 92 brew, go to rock92.com. For 30 years, William Mangum has been painting and giving and painting. It's part of a passion for him, a passion project that started when he met a special friend. And he is continuing that tradition with the honor card this year. It's 30th year to benefit Greensboro Urban Ministry. How did this all get started for you?
Well, Rosemary, was back in 1988 when I befriended a fellow that was out on the streets. His name was Mike Saavedra. And I bought him breakfast that morning, and I had heard of a place called Greensboro Urban Ministry. He was homeless, was sort of passing through the town, and it was sort of a good Samaritan moment. And when I took him down to the shelter, little did I know, rather than reaching into my pocket and giving him some money, I gave him a business card, and that created a 3-year friendship. Over those 3 years, little did I know that Michael was not only homeless, but he was mentally ill. And during that time, he pricked my heart to really use my artistic talents to sort of give back. And the honor card with my participation began in 1988 with a piece called Not Forgotten. And it's sort of a classic scene that many people are familiar with. It was old Greensboro. We were going through a restoration back then. And at the same time, we shouldn't forget about the plight of those that have stumbled along life's path.
What has this honor card meant to Greensboro Urban Ministries?
Well, the first year that we did it in 1988, we used the print and we sold the prints and we underwrote the program. And that year it raised $53,000. That's how just generous this community is. And for 16 years, I would do backdrops that were familiar to our own locale. But after 16 years, once again, I thought, why not leverage this great idea and take it to other communities? So with the backing of Wells Fargo and an anonymous donor, we now have actually taken it to 13 different cities, utilize the annual painting that I create. And what it is, it's not only a fundraiser, but it's a vehicle to raise awareness, to let people know what this agency is doing in their own backyard. And to date, it's raised $7 million.
Wow. That is a huge impact. Well, let's see this year's piece, if you would share it.
This year's piece is called Rise Up. And once again, it's a wonderful urban piece. The inspiration came from actually 3 resources this year. At the end of my season, I heard a lot of rustling in the back on the dock. And as I opened the door, I looked and there was a homeless fellow sitting on the edge of my dock. So I just wanted to make sure he was okay. Well, we were busy, but afterwards I got to know him. His name was John Wilder. So he and I sort of struck up a friendship for a few days. But there was a great passage in the book of Nehemiah out of the Bible that really sort of stirred my soul. And it talks about how he came back to his hometown of Jerusalem. He heard that the walls were beginning to erode. And for me, we all need to rise up and shore up the foundations of those around us. And believe it or not, there was a song by Andra Day, I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's the same title, Rise Up. And it's her eloquent words that sort of coupled, and it was this trilogy that sort of gave me the inspiration to do this sort of holiday scene. The restaurant's called Rise Up. But within this, once again, within every scene of the honor cards, there's always a very subtle image of a homeless person that's wandering.
Well, thank you for all you do, not only just with this, but in our community. We appreciate you. And you can find the honor cards at many places around Greensboro, including William Mangum's Gallery in Lawndale Shopping Center, right near Irving Park. For 37 years, Greensboro Ballet has been bringing the Nutcracker to Greensboro. It is a holiday tradition that continues this year at the Carolina Theater. Joined today by some of the dancers and the director, Nana and Lauren and Mary Helen Mayfield. Hello, thank you for sharing with us today. Okay, I want to know a little bit about the production first.
Well, we've had this production that we are currently doing since 2001, thanks to a very generous gift from a ballet fanatic named Ed Smith here in the community. And I like the production a great deal. The dancers are challenged by what we have to do, but also every year we try to add something a little different or put a little surprise in the production so that folks who come every year have something extra to look forward to.
A lot of children, a lot of adults involved. How many people are in the cast and how many people does it take to make it happen behind the scenes?
Oh my goodness. Well, there's about 85 parts in Nutcracker, and we do have some people doing more than one part. But I think behind the scenes, we're talking about maybe 40 people, including the crew who brings everything in, the lighting designers, the sound engineer, all of that has to happen. And that's part of what's fun, too, is working with people who have expertise in other fields, and they come up with ideas to make things look more magic than you might have thought of on your own. And I like that collaboration.
Nana, how many times have you done Nutcracker? Have you been involved with this production?
This will be my first time at Greensboro Ballet, but when I used to do it in Japan, where I'm originally from, I've done it maybe 5 or 6 times.
What do you like about it?
It's just, it's magical, first of all, I think. And since the music you mentioned is very familiar to everyone in the audience, I think the audience can kind of connect to the production as well.
Just lights something within you, doesn't it? Lauren, what about you? How many times have you done Nutcracker?
This will be my second production with Greensboro Ballet, but in general, since very young, I've been involved in Nutcracker, fortunately. I started, I'd say probably it's probably my 8th Nutcracker, so that's been a thrill, and I just love just the beauty of it and the fact that it has such a broad appeal. You don't have to like ballet to like the Nutcracker. There's this beautiful story. Tchaikovsky's score is just brilliant. I love listening to it even when I'm not dancing. And just the magic and the mystery. And I love that this ballet production features children. I think that's really a special treat. And to have the opportunity to share the stage with them and to see their energy and excitement is just a thrill.
Well, I know there are going to be a lot of children looking up to you. You have a very special part. What is that, and what does it mean to you?
Well, this year, I'm fortunate enough to do the Sugar Plum Fairy the first weekend, so I'm very excited to do that. Sugar Plum Fairy is sort of the queen of the land of the sweets, so that's a really exciting role to get to share the stage with a cavalier and perform a pas de deux in the end of the second act, so that's really exciting. It's a lot of challenge, but it's also a lot of moments where I can just be on stage and feel like a queen, so I always think that's wonderful.
And maybe you feel like a queen even more so when it's all over, when the little girls and little boys are wanting to take pictures with you and have you sign autographs.
I love that. I love that their excitement, because I can remember not too long ago when I was one of them and I was always looking up to the Sugar Plum Fairy, so to now be in her shoes, her point shoes, is really a treat, and be able to be that role model. So
wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit with us today. And once again, it is Greensboro Ballet's The Nutcracker. It's happening at the Carolina Theater with shows opening December 9th. And you can go to the Carolina Theater website to buy tickets. A lot of men and women will find themselves in a jewelry store this Christmas looking for something sweet for their sweetheart. Well, I dare you to try to find anything sweeter or richer than this cookie behind me. Michael Wilson with State Street Jewelers came up with this idea. Explain how it all got started, the $100,000 cookie.
Yeah, so we were in a kind of a planning session of trying to figure out how to tell people that we're a different jewelry store. And one of the marketing guy, he was like, well, what makes us different during Christmas? And that's, we're not a cookie cutter jewelry store. And so from that sprung the idea of making a Christmas cookie, and we looked for a partner, and the Greensboro favorite Maxi B's came to mind. So we approached them, and kind of in talks, we decided to make several different cookies, with this cookie here being the marquee cookie.
The star, for sure. Okay, so explain the process. How does this work? You didn't actually bake the stones into the cookie.
Right. Yeah, so Ryan over at Maxi B's, he kind of put together some concept cookies for us, and then we walked through what that would look like and how the gemstones would fit in with those. And then one night we actually went over there and spent about 6 hours carefully placing the gemstones and decorating them.
How important was it? You're Greensboro born and bred, Greensboro company business. How important was it for you to partner with another Greensboro business to actually make this happen?
It was very important. They're an institution here in Greensboro, and we hope to be an institution in Greensboro as well. And so just to be able to work with them and talk with Robin, their owner, just about how they made themselves such an important part of the community. And part of that is reaching out and being charitable as well. And so we're excited. 10% of the proceeds of each cookie sale is going to Greensboro Urban Ministry. So that's something that's both very important to us and to Robin at Maxi B's.
Okay, so you're going to have to explain a little bit how this works, because people are probably thinking, what do I do with a cookie laden with jewels?
No, certainly. And it's a little bit different of a concept to get across, but what somebody will actually be purchasing is the gemstones that are on the cookie, as well as custom designed jewelry. So the purchaser will give it to the recipient, and then when they get it, they're floored by this amazing cookie. They get to come in and design the jewelry piece of their dreams with those diamonds and gemstones.
And I imagine you've gotten a lot of attention from this already.
Oh, certainly. No, it's been quite surprising just seeing everybody come in and get excited about seeing these really unique creations.
It certainly is a lot of fun. Well, thank you. Good luck to you. Enjoy, and keep the puppy dogs away. That's what I keep thinking. I wouldn't want it under my tree. I'd have to put it up high for sure. Do come and check it out. State Street Jewelers on State Street in Greensboro. Looking for a little local flavor for a foodie friend? Well, Little Face Salsa might be exactly what you need. And the founder, owner, CEO, Jackie Manganello, did I say that right? All right, yes, is here with us. So how did this get started, Little Face Salsa? And you recognize the face?
The face is on the jar, so it's pretty easy to pick.
We know who you are.
It's pretty cool, yeah. So we got started about 1.5 years ago, and really cooking has always been a huge thing in my family. My parents were amazing cooks, and so when I came down here to Greensboro to go to college, obviously I had to learn how to cook some of those meals that I grew up on, or I wasn't going to see those until Christmas break and summer break. So I started in the dorm room just kind of messing around and getting those traditional dishes down and sharing them with my friends, and they all loved them. Of course, at that time, it would have probably been a good idea for me to sell it. I probably would have, paid my way through college at that point if I would have caught on to that. But I did catch on to that after I got into my teaching career, and I started just kind of catering on the side, and I was getting just wonderful feedback.
This is not your day job, though. You have a day job, which is very different.
I do. So this is my 13th year as a physical educator in Guilford County schools. I've worked at 5 different schools, and as you know, we see all the kids as physical educators. So, at this point, I've taught thousands of students within. So, I'm doing these tastings a lot of times, and it never fails that a past or present kid will come up to me and be like, "Hey, Coach M, you got a business, and you're on a jar." And for me, it's awesome the way it ties in, because this is a way for my students to actually see that if you have a dream, that you can. It doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter your circumstance, doesn't matter how big your dream is, because we have there's no ceiling on this for us. There's a lot farther that we want to go, but if you educate yourself, I mean, we didn't just slap this in the jar and get it on the shelf. We had to, that education piece transferred over for us. We had to spend a lot of time in books and researching and educating and being lifetime learners to reach our goal. So it certainly ties in that way, and that's something that I want my kids to know. And two, we want to be able to give back once we start seeing the blessing flow through our business. We want to give back to some of those things like Backpack Beginnings and those nonprofits that help our kids with basic needs that, some of them are coming to school hungry and wearing the same clothes as they did yesterday, and how do you expect them to learn when they don't have basic needs? So that's really our goal. That was one of the first things that we wrote into the business plan, is being able to give back, and not just financially, but let kids know that they can do and be whatever they want. Right now we are in several stores in Greensboro. We are in Deep Roots, House Divided Bottles and Taps, The Feathered Nest, Beer 30, and the Travel Farmer. We just got the Travel Farmer. We're in some Earth Fairs in the Asheville area and Rock Hill, South Carolina, that area, and Farm Down Front in Wilmington, and Saxapaw Hall Market in Saxapaw Hall.
And we can find you online?
Yes, we just opened up our Facebook shop a couple weeks ago, and I just got my webpage going. It's under construction, but you can still order online if you're not in the general area.
And when you're in the store, just look for that face. You can't miss it. Little Face Salsa, and know you are buying from a Greensboro company. Very cool. Congratulations. Beautiful Star is back at Triad Stage for its 7th season in 11 years, so a little break in there. Richard Whittington is the founding managing director of Triad Stage. For those who haven't seen the show, give us a snapshot.
Well, this is a very special production. We created it here for our community. Preston Lane, our artistic director, wrote the script and worked with Laurelyn Dossett, a terrific singer and songwriter who helped develop the show. And it's really about this small church who starts trying to figure out a way to celebrate the holidays. And as they go through telling the stories back from Genesis all the way through to the Nativity, there's more magic that starts happening, and they start realizing that this is a story that is for everyone. And it's just a really special time for us to be able to come together and celebrate with our community.
And this is a truly local production in a lot of ways.
It's true. It was developed here for Greensboro. You can't see it anywhere else. You have to come to Greensboro to see this production. And it's got a lot of familiar faces, people who have been in the show all 11 years. Senny Strickland and Coach Johnson have been in the show every single year as our two sort of leading roles, taking us through the story. And then we've got some actors from New York who come down and join our family, but they've been coming down and doing this for years as well. So it's a great mix.
And if you've seen it before, it's different every time. There's a little something new when you watch.
That's right. Every year we add something a little different. This year is particularly special because Preston Lane has come back as the director. He's made some script changes. We've changed the set. We've got some new costumes. And I think it really celebrates the magic of that very first production and also shows the growth that we've had over our past 11 seasons. So it's a really special time. And Laurelyn Dossett is in the band, and she's joined by two wonderful musicians, including Riley Bogus, who is probably one of the best banjo players in the country, is performing every night as part of the show.
It's so much fun. It's a treat for your eyes and for your ears. I've seen it, I think, every season, and I love it every time.
Oh, we love that.
Young and old, it really appeals to, the cast has young people in it and older people in it, and it really appeals to younger people as well as older people as well.
Yeah, I think so. It's actually a show for everyone. And as we say at the beginning, even though this sort of takes stories from the Bible and shares and sort of brings them to life, it's actually a story for believers and non-believers alike. You can just appreciate this story. And as a family, it's really a wonderful tale to take you through and get you into the holiday spirit.
What is your favorite part about this show? Is it something in the show, or is it something about the show and what it does at this time of year?
You know, it's a little bit of both. I love the sense of family that we have when we put it together and get to share it with the community. But I have to say, when the cast starts singing "Oh Holy Night," It is a moment that I try to be in for every single show, to hear that song being sung, to see the beautiful visuals that's created. It just puts me in the Christmas spirit every year.
It really never gets old, and I get chills just thinking about it. Thank you so much for sharing this wonderful tradition with our community again this year. Beautiful Star is on now at Triad Stage through December 24th. That's Christmas Eve. Wrangler and Greensboro go together like peanut butter and jelly. It's been in Greensboro since 1947, but of course the history of blue jeans and Greensboro goes back way before that. Kenzie Reddick is the marketing coordinator for Wrangler. Talk a little bit about the history. Share with our Greensboro viewers the history of Wrangler and denim with Greensboro.
Yeah, so Greensboro's always had a really rich textile history here in the city, and Wrangler dates back to 1947 when we were acquired by Bluebell, who was here long before. And our partners down at Cone Mill Denim, they actually produced some of our garments for one of our latest collections that was released. So I think the city itself has always just had a really rich history with denim and textiles, and Wrangler. We're actually celebrating our 70th anniversary this year, so it's our birthday year. So we kind of thought, like, what better time to introduce, a little pop-up store. We've never had one in Greensboro per se. It's not our first pop-up, but it's kind of exciting just to, bring the products to life and kind of show people, like, they know that Wrangler's here, but they don't necessarily know what we have to offer. From a denim standpoint, we have, in the store some of our classic pieces. We also have some of our new up-and-coming modern pieces. So there's a little bit of something for everyone. Still staying true to our roots of who we are. And, back in 1947, we were known as the cowboy western jean, and that has truly shaped who we are today. So it's kind of cool to see that come to full fruition.
And behind us, there's some pretty old-looking sewing machines, but these are not props.
No, these are working machines, and so you can actually come in the store, get your products customized. You can get them tailored. We do have someone that's going to be here a couple days a week, which is kind of fun. Get some. Take home some pieces that are truly yours, truly a one-of-a-kind piece.
And truly, Greensboro made some of them, too. I mean, right here around the corner, basically.
Yeah, they were, the fabric was sourced here. It was cut and sewn here by, our facility down the road. And it's really cool just to kind of see, you put something on paper and just to have it be brought to life. The Made in the USA component is, something that is kind of dying. So many things are sourced overseas, and so it's really cool, to take that ownership that we already have here in the city with the denim and to bring it to life and, to give back to the community and to kind of show, like, I don't know what Wrangler truly is.
Todd Starcevich is with Wrangler. So you have some really neat products in this store that we haven't seen in Greensboro before.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we've got a couple of special collections. I think the thing we're most excited about is our 27406 line, which is pairs of jeans and a couple of jackets, a few for guys, few girls. All the fabric is made at the Cone Mills plant, which sadly means it's probably some of the last fabric that will be made out of that facility here in Greensboro. It's all taken down to our cutting and sewing floor down on South Elm. It's hand cut, sewn by Wrangler employees right here in Greensboro, and then brought up to the store. So all of this collection, it's all numbered, it's all stamped. It's really a collector's item more than anything else. So.
And it's gonna hold up. This is not thin, wear a couple of years kind of denim.
No, not at all. It's a really heavy duty selvage denim, which means it's gonna be around for a while, and it's gonna stand up to any work you want to put it to, or if you're just going to wear it, sort of out and about around town.
It's fashionable too.
Yeah.
Speaking of fashion, you have a lot of really cool lines in the store that people may not have checked out before.
No, absolutely. So we want to walk around here real quick. I mean, this collection here is what we'll call kind of our premium lines. Most of it is actually designed out of our European office, and the fabrics are just a kind of higher level quality of fabrics. This is our Peter Max collaboration. So Peter Max is the artist kind of most famous for like Summer of Love. He did the Beatles' Yellow Submarine album artwork. He did a collaboration with Wrangler back in the 70s. So as part of the Wrangler 70th anniversary, the Wrangler design teams and the Wrangler merchandising teams went back to the Peter Max organization, worked with him, and said, "Hey, can we, revisit this?"
How has this been received, this store in Greensboro so far?
I mean, we've only been open for a couple of days, so only 3 days, but it's been amazing. Like, it seems like people have been genuinely excited about it. Obviously we were able to take advantage of the fact that our first couple of days of operation were also 2 really exciting days in the city with the Festival of Lights on Friday night, and then the Christmas parade or the holiday parade on Saturday. So that helped, but I think people were genuinely excited to see the store. They've responded very well in terms of how they've, what kind of product they've purchased. And we've already starting to hear feedback through some of our social channels and some of the purchase feedback channels that they were happy, they got good service, and they were happy with the product that they bought.
And being a global company, I always think about expanding, but what does it mean to kind of come back and do something in your hometown here in Greensboro, where it started?
Yeah, no, I think that sums it up perfectly, right? Like, how do you get excited whenever you get to do something for your hometown community? And I think that's certainly what's been fun about the project. I think what also is important for us being a global company is, it's great to put, you can put a store, you can open up your websites, there's things that will kind of get you out there. But when you have something like this right down the street from where everyone's doing a lot of the work, it really allows you to play and kind of toy and tinker and test and learn.
Market research.
Yeah, market research. But in a world of, the way in today's world with how kind of consumer expectations are rapidly advancing, and you've really got to make sure you get your handle on the right product and the right technologies and the right solutions. I think that's also a fun, kind of way then to kind of bring some things to Greensboro that wouldn't normally be here, just because other retailers wouldn't have brought it here, and we can start to play with those types of solutions and technologies.
Well, we love having you.
Yeah.
So thank you, and we hope that the store might be able to last even longer than the original planned end date. We'll have to see about that. You can check out the Wrangler pop-up store, 314 South Elm Street, downtown Greensboro. It is open now through the end of January. This is just a sampling of all the holiday fun Greensboro has to offer. From all of us at Greensboro Television Network, we hope you have a very happy holiday season. Let's go!